Howdy, 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 boys and girls. It's your boy Tanks, and welcome to another Monster Tank review. Today, we find ourselves in Pharaohs Fury. Now, I want to get something off my chest here real quick. In the last episode, which was the Roswell Monster Tank review, which I will link up here in the top right now if you want to watch that video. In that video at the end, or at the beginning, I said that the Pharaohs Fury wasn't good. And, you know, after playing this tank a little bit more since that review, honestly, I could not have been more wrong. This tank is absolutely a powerhouse. Now, I'll get into why a little bit later, but for now, let's just do our usual thing. So, let's talk about its awoken power. Its awoken power is its second firing mode, its second gun here. Its second ammunition type, which is a flamethrower. But it's not like a flamethrower that's on the Kaiju or on the Gorniche, where it's a short-range flamethrower. This is a long-range flamethrower. This flamethrower is the new variant of the flamethrowers that's in the game right now. Now, unlike the Kaiju and the Gorniche, this thing has to have a reload before you can start firing it. So it has like a 6 or 7 second reload, something like that, and then you can start firing your flamethrower. And the other two tanks, it's instantaneous. You switch over to the ammo and you instantly have your flamethrower. So that's a little bit different. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does enough damage. It lights people on fire, and you can light multiple different tanks on fire by just spraying and praying. So that is this tank's awoken power. Now let's get into some of the pros of this tank. Let's start with the gun handling. The gun on this tank is a 390 Alpha, and with a good crew in it, it reloads in about 6.5 seconds, which is really freaking good for a 390 Alpha damage. Its gun handling is amazing, its aim time is amazing, everything about the gun is amazing. Mobility on this tank, amazing. You can get up to like 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers, something like that. So this thing can keep up with light tanks. You are not getting circled in this tank. Even with a Lycan, you are not getting circled. Its armor, its upper hull, and its turret is actually pretty dang good. If tanks are light tanks and craft panthers and stuff like that are auto aiming on you, they will bounce off of you. They will bounce off of your turret and your upper plate all day long. This thing destroys light tanks, which is really good in this meta because all people play are light tanks. DPM is amazing on this tank. The Scarab gun, it can damage multiple different people, so if you want to just sprinkle a little bit on this guy, then you could sprinkle a little bit on another guy, and while one's burning, then you can light another one on fire. So that's also a really good thing, and since it lights them on fire, it obviously kills their crew commanders and shit like that. Now let's get into the cons of the tank, and for once, there aren't many cons to this tank. The only thing that I would say is a con is that to use the Scarab ammunition, you have to go through a reload. So that's a little sucky that you can't just switch right to it, but I understand why they did that. It'd be a little bit OP if they were able to just switch instantaneously. But another con is that the tank maybe feels a little bit... I would say the awoken power isn't as crazy as the Roswell's, lifting people into the sky and stuff like that, and big alien spaceships. So if that's a con to you, then that's a con. But other than that, I really can't think of anything. This thing is a powerhouse. It carries games. I'm able to do a lot of damage with this gun. If you keep this gun singing, it will tear things up. I did an 11,000 damage game in this tank. I wasn't recording, sadly, so you guys have to take my word for it, but it was actually insane, and it's just because this gun is so good. I would highly recommend this. Honestly, I would recommend this one over the Roswell, with doing a lot of more testing on each tank. I prefer this tank just because it is way more competitive. The Roswell has a really cool second ability, a really cool awoken power, but it's just so weak. It's not fun to play the tank when you're getting pooped on every single game and you're not doing a lot of damage with it. This tank, on the other hand, you're doing a lot of damage with it, and it's just... competitivity for me is more fun. So you guys have both videos that you can watch. You guys can make your own decisions. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. Between the two tanks, I definitely prefer the Pharaohs Fury, and against with my buddy who also has both tanks, he also prefers Pharaohs Fury. So Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tank review. We got the creature coming up next, and then I should be unlocking the Inferno. So hopefully stay tuned for those 2 tank reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!